It began before sunrise. A pale Michigan sky, colorless and freezing, pressed against the window like a warning that nobody in that house was prepared to hear. The world outside was silent, the kind of silence that comes right before disaster. And inside that silence, a single phone call was about to turn Jasmine's entire life into a legal nightmare she couldn't escape. For weeks, the tension inside that home had been thick enough to touch. Jasmine had stopped sleeping normally. Gino had stopped arguing back. Even the field producers whispered to each other off camera, sensing that something was off. Something heavier than the usual shouting matches, accusations, and midnight meltdowns viewers were used to. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared any of them for what episode 19 was about to reveal. It wasn't drama. It wasn't exaggeration. It wasn't a storyline. It was a federal order, signed, filed, active, and carrying her name. At 6:14 a.m., Jasmine was pacing the kitchen, hair a mess, face washed in exhaustion, trying to convince herself the previous night hadn't happened. The accusations, the shouting, the suspicion that Gino had been hiding something big, something dangerous. She hadn't even planned to check her phone. She thought the buzzing was just another automated immigration update, the kind that tells you absolutely nothing while taking years off your life. But then the second call came, then the third, then a fourth from a Washington, D.C. number she didn't recognize. Her stomach collapsed. Her fingers went cold. She answered. The voice on the other end wasn't friendly, wasn't patient, and wasn't confused. It was official, detached, merciless. Ma'am, you are required to report to the nearest ICE field office immediately. A removal order has been finalized. If you fail to appear, federal agents will retrieve you. Jasmine didn't scream. She didn't argue. For several seconds, she couldn't even breathe. The call ended before she could ask a single question. The world around her went hollow, like sound itself had been shut off. The kitchen lights dimmed and brightened again. Her knees almost buckled. She grabbed the counter with both hands just to stay upright as her vision blurred. One thought hit her harder than all the others. This can't be real. This cannot be happening. Her breath came in harsh, uneven gasps. Panic grabbed her throat. Every unpaid fee she feared, every document she rechecked 100 times, every argument she'd had with Gino's family, all of it slammed into her at once. She couldn't move. She couldn't think. She couldn't run. ICE had her name. A judge had signed something. Her time was up. And that's when the camera crew showed up. They were expecting The room around Armin felt colder than the metal table beneath his hands. He stared at the broken laptop, its internal circuits sliced perfectly clean, as if by a machine far steadier than his own trembling fingers. But that was the part no one else knew. He hadn't cut it. He'd only watched. And yet, the fingerprints were his. The tool was his. The CCTV showed him standing there, motionless, while the blade slid through the laptop casing as if guided by an unseen hand. A hand he could feel, but never see. Outside, the storm tightened its grip on the night. Raindrops slapped against the window in frantic bursts, each one sharper, louder, as if warning him that time was running out. And maybe it was, because the truth he was hiding wasn't just terrifying, it was deadly. He could still hear the voice, that whisper that slithered through the dark. Finish what I started. A shiver crawled down his spine. He wasn't supposed to tell anyone about the stone, the crystal that looked ordinary until the light hit it and revealed something inside, twisting and moving, like a trapped pulse searching for a way out. He shouldn't have touched it. He shouldn't have brought it home. But when someone mailed you a crystal wrapped in your own handwriting, you opened it. And that was the night the laptop began moving on its own. Across the room, a faint vibration hummed from the wooden desk. Armin froze.
The crystal, a thumb-sized shard with edges that gleamed like wet ice, glowed softly from within. Its inner valence flickered, responding to something he couldn't hear, but could feel as pressure behind his eyes. Then it happened again. That low hum, like a calling, like a demand. He stepped backward, breath sharp in his chest. No, not again. But the glow intensified, and the shadows in the room shifted, not moved, shifted, bent, as if gravity itself bowed toward the stone. The air thickened, the hum grew into a pulse, the lights flickered. Then the laptop screen, cut open hours ago, flicked on by itself. Dead circuits came alive, lines of blue code racing